Bouce-Back Lions.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Playoffs and Phil.
What's up, guys? Dutchy clocking in here. As always, God bless. Go Birds.
Let the celebration begin.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Eagles postgame show with Jack and Dalt. Proudly powered by TickPick, the official fan experience partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, let's take it to the show.
The Birds take down the Saints, the red hot Saints, I should say, in the Big Easy. You had to be here for it. You had to be here for it. This game had ups. It had downs. But the Philadelphia Eagles get the job done. Jackson, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling amazing. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but all these fucking haters, all the Eagles can't do shit. They're going to get their ass kicked by the Saints. Well, look what happened today. Granted, it wasn't a great call game by Sirianni, but we still got the fucking W, and I'm sick and tired of these fair weather fans that, oh, we have one loss, our season's over. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. Great W, and it's nice to see these Birds, gritty game, but it was nice to get the W.
The Saints, I told you in the offseason, I said they were going to be a good team. And we will roll the tape on the podcast after the show. Jack and I were talking about it and see if I was one of those negative Nellies, which I don't think I was. I doubled down on my take today. I'm with you, though, Jack. And if I was one of those people, shame on me. I'll admit when I was wrong, if I was one, because Jack's right. The Philadelphia Eagles are just kind of going through a stretch where I think they're playing some teams right now that are kind of on the up and up, if you see what I mean. Like the Saints, the Falcons, these are teams that are going to be good this year. And nobody kind of saw that going into this year, especially the Saints, their offensive line, the way that they've played coming out of nowhere. But like I said, Philadelphia Eagles go down to the Bayou. They get the job done. All of our fans that went down there in green, the Green Army, shout out to all the Philadelphia Eagles fans representing so well. I mean, they got a show today. And we'll just kick it off with our first topic with Saquon Barkley, man. I mean, amazing day from him.
Yes, Saquon Barkley had 17 carries for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. He didn't really get a good start first half. Second half, once Devonta Smith went down, it just turned a new beast into Saquon Barkley, and it was just great seeing him get 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. And you look at Alvin Kamara, who had 26 carries and 87 yards. I mean, come on now. Like Saquon Barkley, I think this is a redemption game for him. I was kind of hearing his post-interview after the game, and he said, I don't really care about the redemption game, but all I care about is winning. So seeing him have a terrible drop, and now him 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. His longest was that 65-yard touchdown. I mean, he still has the gas in him. He was quick in open field, and seeing that happen just made me so happy and wanted to laugh at all the Giants fans because you guys gave us a gem, and he's going off this year. What, he has 5 touchdowns so far, and we're in week 3. So
yeah,
come on now. Come on.
He had none last week, two multiple touchdown games already through 3 weeks. So I think that that's going to be something that's common for Saquon Barkley, like Jack just elaborated on. And when you think about the way that he led this team, so I had a whole expectations for the offense going into the game, and they succeeded 83%. The one guy, my expectation for everybody before the game, Saquon Barkley, minimum 20 takes, 85 plus yards, had the 85 plus, and at least 1+ all-purpose touchdown, had 2. Check. Saquon Barkley continued to lead the charge in A.J. Brown's departure, and I'd like to see another 70-plus yard game and 5+ receptions. Check. I think he was around 70. I don't know if he got it. I would not be shocked if he got above it. Defensively, Jalen Carter, he called his first 2 starts trash in his own words. And he came through today. He had a great game. I said I wanted 4 tackles and 1 sack or a tackle for a loss. I'm pretty sure he had 2 sacks. And then you look at Reed Blankenship. I wanted at least 5 tackles and 1 pick. He had that pick at the end of the game. And last but not least, Jordan Davis was a guy who I was calling his name this week to ring the bell. And he had that sack in the beginning of the game too. So this was a really gratifying win for the Eagles, something that was nice to see because we needed this. This was satisfying by all means, like our boy Ryan from Broad Street Reports will talk about the Phillies. Satisfying because it was satisfying like a Snickers bar, and happy to see it.
Yeah, I mean, Dalton, not to correct you, but we only had 1 sack today, and that was Jordan Davis.
I thought Jalen Carter had a sack. The whole team only had 1 sack, and it was.
I'm looking at the box score right now. Yeah, only.
I guess I'm thinking of tackles for losses then that Jalen Carter must have had. He must have had multiple because he was behind the line of scrimmage a lot, and it was noticed. So pardon me for that. Thank you for correcting me on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jalen Carter had 4 tackle for losses. So
that's insane.
But yeah, I mean, great dub. Saquon, I mean, when we needed him the most, he showed up. We kind of ran through Saquon and Dallas Goedert. And Dennis, by the way, I'm calling you out for this because you said, I think it was maybe 5 minutes left in the second quarter, you said that Dallas Goedert is washed. We need a new tight end. Hey, brother, did you watch the game? He went for 10 receptions, 107 or 70 yards. He had a career game today. So all that bullshit about, oh, I love you, Dennis, but I need to correct you. 10 receptions for 170 yards. He is not washed. That offense ran through him and Saquon Barkley. We needed Dallas Goedert to show up, and he did. Once we had Devonta Smith go down, we have A.J. Brown out on IR, out for another 2 weeks. We needed some kind of tide to turn, and Dallas Goedert gave us that. That reception, that 50-yard goal line reception that set us for the touchdown, that was a great play. I mean, we saw Dallas Goedert play out of his mind. I really do think this was his best career game at the Eagles. So, Dennis, you got to check your facts before you jump ship, okay?
Oh, Jordan said about it, Dennis. Look out. I love you, Dennis. Same thing. But that is fair to say. Dallas Goedert has been somebody that's been receiving a lot of unwarranted hate all year long. And today, he just showed the fuck up. It felt like Kellen Moore was playing Madden out there with some of these crossing routes. It just felt like it was the same play over and over and over again, where these 2 receivers pull, the 2 safeties go up, Dallas Goedert gets open in the middle, and boom, he's open for 30, 40, sometimes 50, 60 yards. And it was again and again and again. That seemed to be, for the beginning of the game, the only thing that was working for the Eagles offensively. Now, one thing I also want to touch on, too, Goedert had a career game. He looked spectacular. But Lane Johnson, he was somebody that got sick. He had a concussion. He ended up puking on the sideline. Once he came out, something was definitely up with him because his impact was noticed today when he was on the field. He wasn't the same kind of guy. When he came out, whoever that right tackle was, he delivered, bro. He delivered. He showed up. He was spectacular. He was strong. And he did everything that the Eagles offense needed him to do to open up those holes for Saquon Barkley. So I think that that's when Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, Devonta Smith before that injury, that was when the Eagles offense really started to pop off in the second half, was I think once Lane kind of determined, okay, I shouldn't be in this game, which sucks to see. Hope that Lane gets well, but I'm glad that he had enough common sense to take himself out.
Yeah, no, and that's one thing to hit on. Like, the fact, I was the same way. I think every Eagle fan across the nation felt this. Once Lane Johnson went down with concussion, we're like, oh, shit. We're kind of fucked. But having those 2 guys step up and play great, pass blocking, run blocking, that was something huge to see. Like I've always said, I've always preached on it, the next man up. And we sure as hell answered the call, and these guys did what they had to do. So that was huge for me to see. I mean, granted, I'm not sure how long Lane's going to be out, but it gives me some hope that we can, still play our game without Lane Johnson for the time being.
Yeah, Lane Johnson has been such a pivotal piece, like you kind of elaborated on, Jack, especially for the Eagles. So anytime he goes down, it's going to be noticed.
Not to mention, Mekhi Becton went down. So we had two. I wouldn't say star, but two of our starting offensive linemen go down, and we still answered the call and played great block pass and run pass. So that was really gave me a confident boost to see that with these two guys not playing on the sideline, we can do something with it.
Yeah, they looked absolutely insane. Good away game. And also want to elaborate on a rookie. Shout out to Quinyon Mitchell, man. He almost had a pick six right there. I think he knew that. But the rest of his game looked clean. He looked like a professional out there. I know Darius Slay got burnt, but it seems like Quinyon Mitchell was very much the right pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I want to just say this too. There were a lot of people when Quinyon Mitchell was coming out of college that was like, oh, he went to a smaller school, Toledo. You know what I mean? He's not going to be this. He's not going to be that. He looks insane. He looks well-trained. He looks like an elite cornerback that's been doing it for a couple of years. And I think it's only a matter of time until this kid gets a pick six. He honestly reminds me, and I hate to say this because Jets fans are going to get upset. Shout out to Alex Robson if he's watching. But he reminds me a lot of Sauce Gardner in the way that he plays. Not necessarily his height, but his ball hawking skills, the way that he approaches the ball, stuff like that. And Randy, I think you're right. The offensive line did do spectacular with injuries. So we'll see. Moving along now to our next topic. Did you have anything to say? Sorry, I completely forgot about Quinyon.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much all that there is to it. How about Jalen Carter's big day? And did you see what was going on at the end of the game there?
Yeah, no, he was smacking he was talking to Tyrann Mathieu on the sideline. That's great to see. He still has that kind of fire inside of him, but at the same time, dude, you gotta watch what you say, because I'm not sure if it could be a penalty, but you gotta listen to your fucking coaches. You had 3 coaches on top of you telling you to stop, and so that's just like, you can't be doing that. You're a top tier defensive lineman. Like, you can't be doing that petty stuff, because if that were to happen on the field, I mean, that's a 15-yard penalty. So you just gotta, know your boundaries and make smart choices. But other than that, I mean, great day from Jalen Carter. He had 3 solo tackles, 2 tackle for losses, 2 pass deflections, which was huge. I mean, he got those big balls up and blocked those passes down. So that was nice to see. I mean, talking about the defense, one thing going into this game, we're like, holy shit, like, our run defense looked terrible against the Falcons. And Alvin Kamara the week before had 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. And to see the defensive line answer the call, Jordan Davis had a sack. They played really well. Zach Bond, coming back to his home field, coming back to New Orleans, like, he just played out of his mind. He had 9 solo tackles. Like, that is something we need. This guy is a dog. And seeing him come back to where he started his career at and play like he did, that's awesome to see. So, if I was given a report card grading on this defense, I would give them probably A-. I mean, we stopped Alvin Kamara. Shaheed, what is his name? Rahid Shaheed or whatever.
Rashid Shaheed. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I struggle with it too. You don't know how many times I tried to mispronounce it in the fantasy video. Sorry.
So Rashid Shaheed, he was that number 1 receiver the past 2 weeks, having great games. And I think he had 4 targets and 0 receptions. I mean, that is something that is huge for this defense. You got to look back and like, holy shit, like, we can stop this team. Like, that was just amazing seeing that. We held them to only 142 yards passing, where they were just dotting people the past 2 weeks. So this defense played out of its mind, and that gives me some confidence, because that was our kind of Achilles heel last week. And I guess they listened to me, watched the film, and played great ball.
They did play good ball. And Jalen Carter, like I said, I mean, self-described trash, horrible performance for the first 2 weeks. So way to step up from him. Thing at the end, like Jack said, that's football, that's emotion, that's passion. You love to see that fire in his belly, even at the end of the game. But you got to be smarter than that, man. You got to have a good head on your shoulders. And I think he'll learn from it. So I'm glad that a lot of these mistakes are coming out early. Moving along, though, to our next topic. Whole defense, I think, stepped up a lot this game, and credit to Vic Fangio on that as well. Slowing down Derek Carr. I have it somewhere right here. Derek Carr was 9 for 17, I think, headed into the fourth quarter with 62 yards. Not good at all for what Derek Carr. Derek Carr has arguably been the MVP all season with 18.6 on average fantasy points through the first 2 weeks. I only know that because of sleeper videos. But in all seriousness, Derek Carr's been lighting it up. So the Eagles really were, like I sent that GIF this morning, that Spider-Man meme where the train is coming in hot and Spider-Man is standing in between. He's like, ah, that was the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And they just saved it. Because if they would have went 1, and I think it would have been 3 after that, or would it have been in 1 and 2? 1 and 2, right?
1 and 2, yeah. Eagles.
If they would have went 1 and 2, which it would have felt like 1 and 3 after that. That was why I said that. But if they would have went 1 and 2 going into next week against Tampa Bay, where I think anything can happen, I would be really, really uncomfortable. So shout out to the Eagles for getting the job done today, and a team that beat the shit out of the Cowboys. So now we can talk shit to Cowboys fans all week, which is awesome too.
Yeah. So yeah, slowing down Derek Carr. So the past 3 weeks, obviously, first week against Panthers, he went 19 for 23 for 200 yards passing. And then against the Cowboys, he went 11 for 16, 243 yards passing. And then fucking this week, 14 for 25 and 142 yards total passing. That is something that people were saying, oh, Derek Carr looks so good. I told Josh this before this game started. I said, Derek Carr is not all that. The first week was a fluke. The second week was kind of a fluke. I mean, Dallas Cowboys, they're a decent team, but they aren't, they played horrible. So, but I mean, it just seeing that we stopped him to 142 yards, that just shows this defense came to play and we came on top. So that just, people, like I said at the beginning of the show, it just pisses me off. I know this is how Philly fans are. We are fair weather fans. Oh my God, we lost to the Falcons. A minute drive, they scored or whatever. But don't count out these Eagles. They get better as the week goes on. And I think that's what we need to kind of focus on. This team is a great team. Got the job done. Like I could never be happier. I mean, granted, it was kind of an ugly game, with the score. But other than that, I mean, this was Eagles football, and it was great to see this team, come up on top.
Well said. Well said. And Tony, if you ever needed an excuse, like you said, to get the Saquon Barkley jersey, like Jack said earlier, 5 touchdowns through 3 games and a scoreless game last week. It's already 2 multiple touchdown games. I think right now, me and Jack are giving you your excuse, your permission, Tony. Shout out to our RA from freshman year. We're giving you the permission right now to go buy a Saquon Barkley jersey. You need it. So go get it, buddy. Get the white one, though. The white one like the frat boys from Penn State. That was the one that I got. The white one with the midnight green. That one is sick.
And I want to mention one other thing. Again, coming at Dennis. Dennis, I love you to death. You're my guy. But again, you say Blankenship is not a great player. He has had 2 games in 3 weeks where he's ended the game on a pick. I mean, granted, like, you can't judge that, but just ending that game with Blankenship, who had hit most of his tackles. I think he had a total of I don't even know. But I think he's the guy. Like, this guy, I mean, Sidney Brown, we'll see what happens when he comes back. But I mean, for the time being, Blankenship is a great player. And I've always said that since he's been on this team. And Dalton can account for me. Like, I love Blankenship, and people are counting him out. He is an underrated player, and I love that. So I mean, I just got to come at you again, Dennis, for that.
Oh, yeah, there you go, Dennis. Jackson, not taking it. I can't wait till the two of you are together at a tailgate because it's going to be like when worlds collide. You two are going to be awesome together. I can't wait for it. You guys are going to be besties. Slowing down Carr in a big bounce back win. I also want to elaborate. First half, even though Jalen Hurts was 11 for 13 and 105 yards, that didn't tell the story of his performance. He was making some dumbass decisions in the beginning of this game. So I want to give some credit, actually, even though it sounds like I'm not at first. But I want to give some credit to Jalen Hurts for really adjusting not only his game plan, but his mindset and really bouncing back for the Eagles in the second half in a way that he kind of commanded that offense, took them where they needed to go. Saquon Barkley kind of took the charge. And all in all, he was a lot more efficient. I wanted him to not have a turnover game. I know he had a pick and a fumble, both in the first half, but he really, I thought, did a good job in the second half of not only taking care of the ball, but being efficient with his throws, being efficient with his decision-making. So I was proud.
Yeah, I mean, that pick was not Jalen's fault. I mean, Devontae Smith should have cut a lot harder because that would have been a touchdown.
True.
But dude, 29 for 38, 311 yards. That, I think, he had an 88.8 completion rating. Like, he threw for 311 yards when he didn't have his number one receiver, his number two receiver. He was playing with bench players. And Dallas Goedert popped off this season. Jahan Dotson had a few receptions. Johnny Wilson had a few receptions. So, I mean, working with what he was given because of injury, he played a great game. I mean, granted, turnovers suck, but like I said, that interception wasn't his fault. That was Devontae's fault. And then that fumble, he does not like rolling to his left. And they knew that going into this game. So, that's bound to happen. But then he came back, either next quarter or the following quarter, had a rollout pass before Devontae went down and threw a first down. So, I mean, I think Jalen Hurts is getting better and better. We just got to minimize the turnovers, and we'll be good.
Like you said, dude, well put. If they didn't have some of those turnovers, especially the one in the end zone, this would have been a way different game mentally, score-wise, all in all. So definitely happy to see Jalen Hurts adjusted the second half of that game, going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next week. Another away game. We're going to be in Tampa. Jack and I will be here next week to cover it for you guys, so stay tuned for that. I'm a little bit nervous for that game. I do think that the Eagles will get the job done in a close game, though, as well. The Eagles are the better team over the Saints. I could see another big game by Saquon Barkley rushing. But Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield and Chris Godwin today, who had another touchdown, Chris Godwin, they have been on fire all year. So like I said, I think it's going to be a season of a lot of hard-fought games, which can go either way. Unfortunately, last week, the Eagles couldn't get the job done. They got the job done this week. The NFC is changing, brother. It's not the same NFC it was before. Teams are getting better, and it's noticed.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I'm always a little worried about these games, but I'm not worried. They just lost to the Broncos. 26-7.
Ooh.
And I think it was a home game. Yeah, it was a home game at Tampa Bay, and they lost 26-7. The Broncos are not a good team. They are not a good team. Bo Nix is kind of ass. That whole offense sucks. So the fact that they lost by 21 points to a shitty team, I'm not too worried about this game. I am not too worried about this game. I think in the NFC South, right, that's the division they're in, or West, whatever you want to call it, the Saints, as of right now, are the better team in that division. So we took them out. We're going to take the Buccaneers out. I am not worried about this game. It's going to be a close game. I feel like these games that we expect to win get a lot closer than the games we expect to lose. So, but yeah, I'm not too worried about this. I'm excited for this game. I think we'll be fine. We'll see, what we do before the game, what players we'll have come Sunday on the receiving core. Hopefully Devontae Smith is back. Hopefully he does not have a concussion because that would be very, very rough for us. But yeah, I'm excited to see this team beat the Buccaneers.
I think it, like I said, close game. I am with you, though. I think it's going to be a win. I do think it's going to be a hard-fought battle, though. Last time we played against the Buccaneers, they struggled. Jalen Hurts is historically being able to beat the Saints, and he has struggled historically against the Buccaneers. But that's a story for next week. Jack and I will be here to cover it for you guys next week. A big Birds win in the Big Easy. Shout out to all the Eagles fans that are out there right now representing so well. Shout out to Philly Sports Trips for leading the charge with everybody. Very, very satisfying, happy win. Shout out to my boy once again, Ryan, Broad Street Reports. If you're watching, go subscribe to him. If you guys don't, he's got me hooked on that satisfying kick. I feel like I ate a Snickers bar today with that win because Philadelphia Eagles fans, we needed that. It was a much needed win. It was a team win. And all in all, it was a good gameplay, especially defensively. There's a lot of takeaways this week positively that the Eagles are going to take away defensively. With Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown being out, you can only do so much, but very, very happy with that win. Jack, you got anything else or you want to take us out of here?
Yeah, I mean, Sirianni, take the points when we were given the points. That's the only gripe I have how he called this game. But a win's a win. It was a sloppy win, but we got the W. We're taking it. The game's home against Tampa Bay, right?
No, we go to Tampa, I believe, next week. I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. Well, we're gonna kick the shit out of the Buccaneers. I'm confident in this team. Don't lose hope. This team is good. We played great today when we had less of our stars playing. So, other than that. Hey, Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.
This is for you.
All roads lead through the playoffs and Phil.